We spent a crisp March morning exploring one of the world's most jaw-dropping Gothic cathedrals, Milan's Duomo. From the vast Piazza to the sacred interior, all the way up to the legendary Rooftop Terraces, where marble spires pierce the sky, this is the Duomo like you've never seen it. We wandered to the ancient Roman columns of San Lorenzo in Brera and drifted along Milan's iconic Navigli Canals, a quieter, more local side of this endlessly surprising city. No crowds, no tourist noise, just the architecture, the light, and the details that make Milan unforgettable in March. The city wakes slowly under a pale sky, and there it is, the Duomo, 600 years of white marble rising from the heart of the most fashionable city in Italy. Stand here in this piazza and you feel the scale of it before you can even process the detail. This is not just a church, it is the most ambitious building ever attempted in Gothic stone, and it took nearly 6 centuries to finish. The facade alone contains more than 3,400 statues. Every archway, every spire, every vertical inch of this marble skin is covered. Saints, angels, prophets, monsters, all carved by hands that would never live to see the building complete. In March, the light hits differently. The stone is cool, almost blue in the morning, and then gold floods in as the sun climbs. The cathedral breathes with the sky. Look up, keep looking up, resistance is futile. There are 135 spires on this building. At the very top, the highest point of the cathedral, stands La Madonnina, a gilded copper statue barely visible from down here, but up there she is everything. The noise of the city, gone. What replaces it is something closer to awe than silence. This is one of the largest Gothic interiors in the world. 52 columns marching into the distance, each one taller than a 5-story building, disappearing into shadow and candlelight. The stained glass windows here are extraordinary. Some of the oldest date back to the 1400s, and on a clear March morning, the light they pour into this space is almost unbearably beautiful. Blues and reds and golds bleeding across the white marble floor. And the floor itself is a work of art. Intricate geometric patterns in marble, polished smooth by centuries of footsteps, pilgrims, visitors, emperors. Napoleon was crowned King of Italy here in 1805. He walked across this same stone. Move slowly, there's a sarcophagus here of extraordinary power. An archbishop, his marble skin depicted anatomically flayed in a work so confrontational it stops you cold. Marco da Grate carved it in 1562. It is not easily forgotten. This is a living cathedral. Candles burn, prayers are whispered, history accumulates silently in every corner. There are a few urban experiences in Europe quite like this one. Up here, you are standing inside the cathedral's architecture, not looking at it, but walking through it. A forest of marble spires surrounds you in every direction. Each one is sculpted, pinnacled, alive with carved figures and Gothic filigree. In March, with the Alps still snow-capped on the northern horizon, on a clear day you can see them from here. There is a stillness up on this roof that the city below cannot provide. Walk slowly, let the shapes register, the flying buttresses below you, the gargoyles, the tracery of stone against sky. And there, at the summit, La Madonnina herself, the gilded figure that dominates the skyline of Milan. For centuries, no building in the city was allowed to rise higher than her, a law born not of architecture but of devotion. The city stretches in every direction. Milan in March, beginning to wake from winter. From here, it looks eternal. Coming down from the roof, re-entering the Piazza, the city feels different now, smaller somehow, more human. The Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II stands to the north, one of the oldest shopping malls in the world, its iron and glass dome a masterpiece of 19th century ambition. But today we're not going in. Today we follow the city sideways, toward the old layers and the parts of Milan that the fashion magazines don't always show. These are the columns of San Lorenzo, 16 ancient Roman columns standing here since the 3rd or 4th century, long before the Duomo was imagined, long before Milan was what it is today. These columns stood. They came from a Roman structure whose exact purpose is still debated: a temple, a bath complex, a portico. No one knows for certain. What we know is that someone 16 centuries ago looked at these stones and decided they were worth keeping. In March, on a quiet morning, the light falls at a low angle, throwing long shadows behind each column, turning them into sundials, into architecture and art. Milan is a city with Roman bones. Walk far enough from the fashion district and you begin to feel them. Leonardo da Vinci worked on these canals. That is not hyperbole. He designed a system of locks that transformed Milan's waterways in the late 1400s. The same mind that painted The Last Supper also engineered this. Today, the Navigli Canals are the city's most beloved neighborhood. Bars, trattorias, antique shops, street art, all pressed up against the water's edge. In March, the tourists haven't arrived yet in force, and the canals feel genuinely local. Residents walk dogs, boats sit quietly moored, the reflections shift and shimmer. These canals once connected Milan to the Alps and to the Po River, an industrial lifeline. Now they're a cultural one. The appetizer aperitivo hour here is legendary, but at this time of morning all you hear is the water. Before the summer crowds, before the heat, when the city still belongs to itself and to anyone patient enough to look closely at what 6 centuries of ambition, faith and craftsmanship actually looks like in marble and stone. The Duomo will outlast all of us. It outlasted the Romans, the Viscontis, Napoleon and 2 world wars. There's something quietly reassuring about that. If you felt something watching this, the like button is there. It tells the algorithm this kind of slow travel content is worth surfacing. Subscribe if you want more of it, no noise, just places and the life they deserve. See you in Italy.